Good morning from St Columba's Vicarage on this Good Friday. I'd like to begin today with some words from the letter to the Hebrews. We have a great priest over the house of God. We have a great priest over the house of God. Today, we would have heard those words spoken at the Good Friday liturgy in the afternoon, as we would have gathered together to commemorate the death of the Lord. We're not able to gather together today, but we are able to remember, which is what Jesus bids us do. Last night at the Lord's Supper, Jesus would have said to the disciples, "Do this in remembrance of me." Today we are called to remember his death, and by remembering, live in its power and in its effects. We are called to remember that Jesus is the new great priest over the house of God. Today, all that Jesus had completed beforehand comes to its fulfillment. Today, Jesus makes new the temple of the Lord when he is crucified at Calvary. We read in the Gospel that the temple curtain was torn in two. Jesus today does a new thing. Jesus acts definitively for all of time. Jesus opens up to us, each and every one of us, a new way, a way of life, a way of hope, a way of salvation. And all of this is sealed today in, by, and through his blood. All that was said last night, as we read in our Gospels, when Jesus gathered with the disciples in the upper room and promised them his body and his blood, comes to its climax today. Those instructions now make sense. The meal that he instituted becomes the sacrifice. The sacrifice that he makes today is given to us in the meal. Today, Jesus is crucified for the sins of the world, so that we may have life and life to the full. I'd like to encourage you to read the reflection for Good Friday, which will accompany this video, and particularly to pray today the Stations of the Cross, walking with Jesus on that way to Calvary. There are some links available to you with this video, and please do also use the stations in your packs that were provided, and also check out Facebook and Twitter for other resources that are online. Let us today then remember that we have a great high priest over this new house of God, a house not made of stones but of flesh and blood. We ourselves become the temple of the living God if we are one in him. Let us today place our faith in him so that we may die with him and triumph with him.